Hello and welcome. Hi, Sunny. How are you today? And my joy feather has taken on some corporeal form, at least for today. So yes, I'm going to start off again, just bluntly, like I did last week, our first live stream, to say that I'm kind of lazy. And I admit it. And I don't know about you, Bonita. I don't know about anybody who's watching, but I do not want, I resist, I do what I can to not have my to-do list be huge every day. Right? I want to move forward on my projects for sure in a way that makes me feel good. I don't want to kick my own butt. That's key for me. And I do want to spend at least some time each day doing things that make me feel good because Bonita and I have seen, witnessed, experienced, and been gloriously transformed by this, by everyday joy and by wild happiness. So, Bonita, what kind of relationship do you have with your own to-do list?
Well, I'm and always have been a list maker. Ever since I was a child, there was always a list. I One thing I always put on my official list was something fun, though. So I have a list of things that must be done, but there has to be something that's fun as well on the must do it to do list.
Yep.
If it's on the list, it's important. My list is practically a work of art. It's sequenced, it's color coded, and it probably needs its own project manager. That's my personality. I even have a special list for the things I have to do when I leave the house because I optimize my route because of the price of gas. And that's how my brain is wired. But some days I only get a few things done from that official list, even though I worked hard all day.
Mhm.
So does anybody else have that issue? You worked hard all day, you got that huge to-do list, you've been busy, and you look at it at night and somehow it's only half done. Does anybody else have that? Well,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you do,
put it
I've got a great system to tell you about in just a little bit that helps with that.
Yeah, and put it in the comments too, right? Like if you have the kinds of issues that Bonita's talking about, and just let us know what kind of relationship you have with your to-do list because we all have slightly different ones. Bonita, it sounds like you have been develop, you've been consciously relating to your to-do list, which a lot of us just are sort of and I know this is me sometimes with it in some moments, just sort of doing the same old and doing what we've always done, but not really developing new things with it. And I love that you have, well, because like you said, in a few moments, we're going to know exactly where it's been going in a wonderful way that's so transformative too. Today, Bonita and I are going to show you how to expand the time that you get to spend on things that make you happy with basically zero effort by leveraging the lists. So yeah,
I'll process it.
yeah. So so in practice, right? In practice. In a few minutes, we're going to play Dare or Dare with our alter ego mascots. And while you're sharing, in the comments, uh, and that can be, by the way, that can be during this live stream, or it can be later because we will engage with you later as well. Yeah, while you're sharing those, anything else that you want to share, Bonita, about kind of like what happens when we get mired down in the to do, right? What does life look like at that time?
Well, for years, I was the queen of organization. Like I said, complete with those giant to-do lists, the color coding, the categorized, optimized, and they probably needed their own filing cabinet, that kind of thing. But after two traumatic brain injuries, everything changed. So even the tiny everyday tasks were really overwhelming. And no matter how hard I worked, I often ended up feeling like I hadn't done enough. And that mindset can really shrink your world really, really quickly. You start feeling bad about yourself. You feel shame. You feel embarrassment. So part of my recovery became learning how to notice what I was actually doing and learning how to count that progress differently.
Mhm.
And tiny is the key. Tiny wins, tiny moments of joy, tiny bits of happiness and momentum. And honestly, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Because when your brain starts to recognize that effort and progress, the joy, the connection, the movement, the creativity, or even just surviving on a hard day, your world starts to get bigger instead
Mhm.
of smaller shrinking that was happening. So like I created that Wild Happiness Project to help others do it. And it's really simple at the core. It's just life, but happier. And
Mhm.
with you, with the joy feather, it's life, but joyful. So, hey, it's about learning how to do life differently. More joy, more little wins, more support, more breathing more breathing room. Breathing worms, they're out there breathing too. More breathing room. And I help people take that big, overwhelming problem and break it into the bite sized pieces and rebuild momentum, the tiny wins, one at a time. And that's why you and I work so well together, because
Yeah.
it's happier together.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, more of all that stuff and more noticing was another one that you had mentioned too, as well, noticing what we're already doing. That's the theme today here. So yeah, my Sunny and the Joy Feather have some dares for all of us to help us get into the stretch zone where we're doing something different, right? Because, like we said, it's about doing, not just about thinking about it. Right? Like Bonita had to engage with her to do list, not just doing the things on the list, but how she does it. She had to do something about that too. So, yeah, put a yes in the comments if you are daring to do something just a tiny bit different today. We do want to hear from you, and we will reply to each of you later after we're done today if we don't see your comments here. Okay.
And it's really important to remember those unofficial things that should be on your list. Those invisible victories. Like I was just saying to Jenny, I just had a flood in my basement.
Yep.
That was not on my list. Trust me, it was not on my to-do list,
Yep.
but it still took my time, my effort, my energy. I had to go deal with it. And now there is a bucket dealing with the water, and I will call a repair person a little later.
Yeah,
Deal with the
exactly.
hot water heater.
Exactly. And yeah, I'm remembering too. And it's ironic because it started to happen for me like after my kids were grown when you'd think would have more time
Yeah.
to right. But it when my kids grew up and left the house, it also just kind of made me realize that I was getting older. So I started to feel like life was passing me by, and it still didn't really feel like I was doing the things that I was really caring about each day. And during that time, that's when I was most stuck. That's when I could have used the mechanisms that we're going to be talking about today. Today, put a me in the comment, or a we, or a yay, or a yes if this sounds familiar to you. Again, if that's now on the live stream, or later if you are in the comments later, listening later, on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, any of the places. So yeah, now we get to help you with this, right? I directly today, we're going to do something today, take action. I ran a challenge last week called the Days of Play, and it's still kind of going on because people are still watching the replays, and people have been funneling their microdoses of play to me as they watch the replays. And since then, one of the big things, which Bonita mentioned earlier too, is that they have been noticing the things that they already do, just the tiniest things, and then they're treating them like tiny wins. Again, that's one of Bonita's phrases, but it's just making the hugest difference in their lives. So here's how to get, or one way. When we got a million of them, we keep saying that, but one way, real quick, to get even more time and energy from your tiny moments into your life that you might not even usually notice. Bonita, can you tell us about your magical ta-da list?
Well, everybody knows what a to-do list is. It's that endless list that grows in the dark. You leave it alone on the desk, you come back to it, and there's 10 more things on it. It's just the way it is.
Mhm.
But you're always handling stuff throughout the day that's not on your list. You're keeping children fed and alive. You're taking the dog for a walk. You're putting on a load of laundry. You're dealing with a flood in your basement. All these little things that you don't count. They were not on the list. So your brain goes, doesn't matter, doesn't count. So I'm not even going to pay attention to it. But at the end of the day, you're exhausted. It's like, what did I do? Why am I so tired? The list is only half done because you didn't count it all. So I came up with this really cool little PDF, and if people want it, they can get it. And one side is the traditional to-do list, and the other one is the ta-da list. And the reason I call it ta-da is because it's kind of magical how it gets done. It's kind of like when you have kids at home and they think it's magical how the dishes get out of the dishwasher and into the cupboard. Yeah, kind of like that. We both know who's doing the magic, right? So that's the thing. You're doing the magic, count the magic. And I even have a magic wand. And every now and then, whenever I had a particularly kind of day, I make my ta-da list because you don't have to do it every day. It's just you need to have this proof every now and then that you've done a lot of work. I write it out. I did this, this, and this, and this. I fed people. I did that routine mundane stuff. I took the car in and got the oil changed or whatever. And at the end of the
What
day,
was it? What was it specific? What was one of the specific ones related to the basement flooding today?
oh my goodness, just finding a big enough bucket.
Finding a
So
big bucket. Ta-da!
that's right, ta-da!
Ta-da!
Because I
Right.
was okay, I know I own a larger bucket. Where's the bucket? Because I
Yeah.
knew that I would be here with you for, the next little while, and I couldn't be down there emptying the bucket. So, all
Yeah.
right, found a bigger bucket. And that was part of it because that took my time, it took my energy, took my focus,
Yeah.
took my trying to remember, all right, garage or basement, where did I leave that thing? So that all counts. And at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you make up your list and you wave your magic wand, your magic feather, or your magic finger, or sprinkle pixie dust over it, and you say to yourself, ta da, or yay, I did it, or pat yourself on the back, whatever. You need to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
It's got
we're
to
gonna
be,
do it. We're doing it right now, right? We just
yeah.
did it for you. We want each of us. I want to get to do it for myself right now, and anybody who's listening and listening land, right? Like, let's you do that for yourself too. You can put it in the comments if you'd like to share it. But yeah, let's figure something out. I need to think about this though. Like, what did I do that is I do this kind of stuff a lot, but for some reason I'm not
Well,
thinking of something that I did that today that was a ta-da in particular.
you know what the easiest way to remember your to-do list is?
Yeah.
What was chaos today and what was mundane?
So
The
anything that
mundane,
I did that sort of helped with the chaos, I get to give myself credit for. I get to
yeah, that you handled something that was
yes,
unexpected, something that wasn't
yes.
on your list. Like, you've got a flat
Okay.
tire,
I got it. I got
okay?
it. Just a few moments before this live stream was gonna start, like maybe 20 minutes before, I realized that I had not sent a kind of time sensitive and important message to someone, to one of my clients. And so yeah, I went ahead and I allowed that moment to be imperfect. Like I did go ahead and send them something, but I was like, yeah, I was going to send you something more detailed. I'll have to do that later, kind of thing. I feel like it was kind of magic, right? Like
Mhm.
I I allowed it, the moment, to be what it was, and that's a big ta-da for me.
Yeah, and
Yay!
those little things, I mean, they create more energy and more momentum, and they give you more room for joy because just by realizing what you did, you feel happier.
Mhm.
And "ta-da" is an expression in our culture of, "Hey, look at me, look what I did." I mean, a child is up on the stage and they go, "Ta-da!" after they sing or they dance or
Yeah,
play or whatever. And it is playful. It's a silly little thing in our head, kind of like wee. When I go around a sharp turn or taking an S curve in my little sports car, I go wee.
right,
That's a
right.
childlike happy thing.
Yep.
And it leaves more room for joy.
Yeah.
So that's why I called it the ta-da list, because it's
Right,
magical how all that routine and chaos stuff gets done every day, and it deserves to be counted.
right. So I hope by now, while we've been talking about it, that everybody who's listening to this at any point has done a ta-da for yourself, right? If you haven't yet, literally even just say it, ta-da, for something that you identified, right? And share it with us. We'd love to see that at some point. And now we are going to, yeah, and and also when you are doing it, just notice how it feels, right? Notice
Yeah.
how it feels to have that ta-da in you. And notice how, as you go through the rest of your day, notice some things about it. I'm not going to lead you anywhere, but go ahead and notice, right? How that feels to you. So yeah, Sunny and the Joy Feather have given us some dares, me and Bonita, and then they've got one for you, the listening and watching land. So yeah, we have a new little uh, graphic here. Let's play. Dare or dare. That's Sunny and the Joy Feather in the virtual world. Bonita created that and played, I think the playfulness with which you did that, and then having like sort of like a particle will like disappear in one place and then reappear in another. That's what the feather reminds me of. It kind of does that. I love it. So
And
yeah,
it's the dare or the dare. Pick one,
right.
they're the same.
Yeah, this is instead of truth or dare, because dare
Yes.
or dare is more a choice of bravery. Even if we feel a
Right.
little nervous, we know that bravery is something we choose, right? To be
Yes.
brave, something we be. So, can you give me my dare first from my joy feather? What do you got for me,
Sure.
Bonnie's
Well,
going to read it out loud.
we had a little consultation, and I know how much you love music, so I'm sure this one is going to be so, so easy for you.
Okay.
Joy Feather and I dare you to have a dance party celebration to the magical ta-da music in your mind.
Dance party celebration. Now,
Dance
you said
party.
this is gonna be easy for me, but the fact is, I don't think I could do a dance party celebration without actually standing up and doing it,
Well,
and I didn't put on a bra. So there's the bravery vector for for this dance party dare. Thank you, Joy Feather, you know me so well. So, and as to the music in my mind, that's another, like,
that's right.
another thing to me. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna close my eyes so it can just be in my mind, that
All
music.
right, go for it. You are brave indeed. And yes, the Joy Feather knows you well.
You know what was in my head was our little intro song, Sunny and the Joy Feather,
Yeah,
happier
perfect.
together. That was it. That was in my head.
Yeah.
So, all right, thanks. Okay. Braless and all. Okay, so Bonita, your dare from Sunny Spot. uh,
You're gonna
yes,
get back at me for leaving him in the dark last night here in the dining room instead of taking him upstairs?
I feel bad when I do that to Torpedo Ben Bear, which y'all will meet sometime. So yeah, okay, here's your dare from Sunny Spot.
Okay.
You have just received your Magical Tada Award, right? The award of the year for your Magical Tada. What's Give us a little bit of your acceptance speech.
I'd really like to thank the Academy for this hard-fought award. You like me. You really like me. A little throwback to Sally Field there.
Yes. Oh my God, what a meme throughout the culture. I love it. Yay! Wow! Yay, Bonita! Magical ta-da! Okay,
Bow, and I say, ta-da!
right. And so our listening land, watching land, you can do those dares yourself. And Sunny and the Joy Feather have one for you too.
Yes. So it's your
Another
turn now.
dare.
Yeah, it's your turn now out there in reality world. So, what's on your magical to-do list? No, sorry, your to-do list. Sorry. What is on your magical to-do list? What are you already doing that builds joy and happiness in your life? I dare you to make a list of at least 5 things on your magical to-do list that are things that just get done and you probably don't normally count, but they deserve recognition. Then do some kind of celebration like wave your magic wand or do a happy dance with or without music to tell yourself the story that you deserve this joy. We all deserve happiness, and we should be allowing ourselves to experience it, appreciate it, celebrate it a whole lot more often than we actually do. So make your list of 5 now or later and celebrate it. Be happy.
I love it. List of 5. That's such a great, like that's plenty of things to be on a magical to-do list for a day. Like, and then it'll help you notice tomorrow and all that too. And then as you do, even right now, maybe because you did do a ta-da, right? You did your own ta-da today already, right?
Yeah.
So just notice, do you feel that power, right? How even if you just thought about it, right? How just thinking about something that you've already done makes your time, we're back to time a little bit, feel just a little bit more free, right?
Yeah.
And doesn't it feel good then to notice that you're on the right track more than you might think every day, right?
And time is probably the most important thing in your life.
Yeah.
It's finite.
Yeah. So now, because of that, because it's so finite, the time, and we want to make the most of it, we need to keep this momentum going, right? Because what if we don't?
Yeah.
This is what happens, right? How much do our lives actually shrink?
Mhm.
So much when we don't notice all the valuable things that we are already doing every day. Like, Bonita, do you have any kind of stories about how times your life might have shrank when you weren't noticing the valuable ta-das in your day?
Absolutely. Did you ever watch, oh, what was that show called? The Golden Girls.
Oh yeah.
And one of them, Rose always go, not Rose, one of them always go, picture it, Sicily, 1942, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
picture it. So here's my story. Picture it. I had two traumatic brain injuries, and that the long years of recovery, I was depressed. My world was gray and sad. My world was small and getting smaller by the day. So it was a conscious decision to get better because I knew I didn't want to live like that. I knew my world could be bigger. I knew it could be brighter. And it was hard work to come back. But little by little, I did it. And looking back now, I realize that with the right support, it probably could have been a much quicker recovery with a lot fewer setbacks.
Mhm.
I wish now that I had reached out for more help because I spent far too many years struggling alone. But meeting people like Jenny and her infectious joy certainly helps keep things moving along really, really well now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, there's something in that that makes me wanna mention for sure that one reason that Bonita and I are such great partners with supporting each other is because we are women and we know what it's like to be a woman. And that, a lot of your story, Bonita, brings up some of the factors. We won't go into them too deep on this episode, but just mentioning and noting and naming that ta-da is especially important for women, and expanding our time into noticing all the valuable things that we're doing every day is especially important for women because often the kinds of support that we as women end up giving more of to the world, women and femmes, right?
Mhm.
Those things are often very undervalued, very overlooked. Bonita and I both come from a teaching background. Totally a thing. If you want to know, if you haven't consciously recognized this stuff yet, if you're not realizing if you're a woman and not realizing you're living it every day, or if you know, are not a woman or a femme, and just Google emotional labor of women.
Yeah.
Just that alone, right, is something to look into about all this. So the question is, well, I'm going to
Well,
turn it back over
I
to
have a
you.
question to ask you.
Yeah,
How do people go about getting support for
yeah.
this? To notice things without adding that huge overhaul to life that takes up even more of your time. And we
Mhm.
know it's easier said than done to shift. And without support, it's just too easy to revert back to that imbalance of the to do and not even notice the to da.
Exactly.
So it's really hard to do it alone. And I speak from experience, as I just mentioned. If it was easy, we'd all be doing it, and you wouldn't have this problem of always feeling like you never get to spend time on things that matter to you. So you need a plan. And it turns out one of the crucial pieces is that you also need other people sharing stories, like we're doing right here today. And I know this because I participated in it. The Summer of Play is exactly what Jenny created this for. So tell us about it.
All right. Yes, I am thrilled to be sharing this right now. We've got a few people signed up already. This is a workshop, a celebration, and a group experience all rolled into one. It's designed to make sure that you get to have time this summer for all the things that matter most for you in the next season. And after the workshop, when you learn what you can do in order to get that time back for yourself and to notice the things like we were talking about, to train your nervous system to notice them, and also to have energy to even use that stuff too. The After that workshop, the program only takes a few minutes each day for the rest of the summer. So yeah, these tiny wins do add up. Yeah, that's your phrase, right, Bonita? The tiny
Yeah,
wins, they
both of
add up.
us. Really, it all adds up.
Right.
And we talked about that last week, and we'll talk about it every week because really, it's termite bites. Termite bites do more damage than earthquakes do, and they can do more good too. The small things adding up, they're easier to do. They keep adding up, and this week you get to tell us how it fits into your program. Like, tell us why it's actually possible with your program to do so much in so little time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the reason for that is because you will be learning to notice your own personal tiny wins every single day. My everyday play system is designed for that. It makes it really easy and fun to do. So that's how it can happen, where you can do a lot with just a few minutes a day.
And you know what? By making it fun, it's like the time just disappears. It's not a labor. It's just fun. A labor of fun. So how do they get into the summer of play?
Yeah, yeah. So it starts this Saturday, and if you're already busy that day, you could get the replays. It's just as fun on the replay. And yeah, they let's see. there's the link to get, or a QR code, and then we'll go back to the actual link words as well too, to book a quick call with me, because my Joy Feather and we've got plenty of spots available for the next few days only to answer your questions and get you on board for the Summer of Play. It really is a life expanding process. And my Joy Feather, this part's really fun for me. My Joy Feather reminded me recently of this. We talk to each other, not in words. It's sort of, what did you say the other day? Telepathic communication, right?
Yep.
Um, but my Joy Feather reminded me recently of a few testimonials from people that I got last year for Summer of Play. So I was looking at them, and then two of the women who did it last summer, their lives expanded, and they literally mentioned that. I thought it's also funny because both ones are named Carrie, but it's with a different spelling, right? So the
Okay.
first Carrie says that she got spectacular perspective to grant permission to play forever, to learn, expand, play forever. I love that. And learn, expand, and grow ourselves, right? That's one. Carrie number one mentioned that. And then Carrie number two with the C said, I really liked the community and the support from the group and the focus that helped me bring more fun into my life. It helped expand what was possible for me. So, yeah, I am just really honored that, because of that expansion, like, it's still going on for those of us who are still doing it, which some of us are. I'm really honored to be sharing this system, knowing a year later how much we're going to get to see and feel and witness your dreams coming true through this summer of just that just begins with the Summer of Play. It's amazing. So, yeah. Yeah.
And who doesn't want to make summer last forever? I
Mhm.
mean, really. I gave up skiing quite a few years ago. So yeah, summer. I'll take summer all lifelong.
Mhm, exactly. Yeah.
So if you're interested, and I did this last summer and I highly recommend it, so book your call today to learn more about it. Then you can add a whole entire summer of play to your to-do list. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy it greatly.
Thanks. All right. Well, we're gonna wave bye-bye now, Sunny and the Joy Feather.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. So here we go.
We'll see you next time.
We will see you next time.